Halito, it's your brother YK the Truth, and we're going to get right into this video. Aboriginals, take your DNA test.
You know, when most people who want to know about their heritage, they go to their grandma, grandpa, but now there is new technology that can help you trace your roots using DNA.
Take a DNA test. Now, the research guy took his DNA test, and it came back 24% Indigenous American, right? So I'm going to play the video. Let's get it.
Look, check this out. So what y'all looking at right now, y'all looking at results from a DNA test. Yes, I know y'all gonna be like, oh man, you shouldn't have gave me your DNA, blah, blah, blah. And I'm being a little bit quiet, y'all, because I literally just woke up. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now. And I just woke up, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna step outside for a second. And I ended up looking at my email and I seen they had some results for my DNA test. So I was like, oh crap, let me go ahead and look at it. This is the box that it came in. It came in this box from Ancestry. And it was really easy, actually. It was easy. I know people gonna trip because they be like, man, why you take a DNA test, man? You shouldn't have given me your DNA, blah, 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 blah. Man, listen, they already got our DNA. I'm gonna be real with you. So
that's a fact. If you go to the hospital, they got your DNA. If you give blood, they got your DNA. They know what you're allergic to. They know your whole medical information. So they already got your DNA. So stop using that as an excuse to not get a DNA test.
So many of us that took a DNA test, they got our DNA, bro. So there's nothing we can do about that. But the interesting thing about this test was they don't ask you your social security number. They don't ask you your date of birth or none of that. They don't do none of that. You just order one. And when you get it, it comes with a little activation code on it. You activate it and you link it to the tree that you wanted to activate to. And that's it. But you got to spit in this tube to a certain amount. And then there's some little blue liquid that come in and you screw it in. And the blue liquid goes into your spit. And you shake it up, put it in and mail it off. That's what you do with it. That's exactly how.
Facts. It's that easy. It's that easy. So I don't know why y'all won't just take a DNA test. It's no work. And it don't cost that much. $99. And you can see how much Indian you have in you. Just take the test, man. But you don't want to take the test because you don't want to wake up from your fantasy. And I salute the brother for actually taking his test, even though they against DNA testing. He said, you know what? Let me just see. You never know. You might find 24% native in you. You might be the 1 out of 20 Black African Americans who have a lot of native in them. Because it's only 1 out of 20. So he was lucky to be the 1 out of 20. But you never know. You might be the 1 out of the 20. If you go to the store and you play lottery, you might hit. Take the test.
You take the test. But throughout this test, I will say it took about a month. It took about a month for everything to come back. And it does say African. It says I think it says 21% Nigerian. And it says, I think I got some Mali too.
You see, that's what I got. I got Nigerian, and I got Nigeria, and I got Mali. Now, you see how the story adds up? Yeah, there were natives intermingling with Africans. YK the Truth never said that. I never said that. But I did say majority of us are predominantly African. That has always been my claim.
And then it's Nigerian and Mali. Those are the only two I've seen. Unless I'm looking at it wrong, I don't know. This is my first time doing it, so I got to go back into it because I was just excited that, to get them results. I don't know if I'm doing it all right, but it does show like the percentages of all like up and down. They got a bunch of different whatever. I know I got some Asian, I got some Europe. I think I got 1% Europe, like 2% Asian or something like that. But what was crazy was I saw, and I thought it was gonna be. I thought actually, because you know how these people are. You know how they always try to connect us to West Africa. So I actually thought it was gonna say more West African. I thought it was gonna say like.
You see? So he took the test thinking in his mind, yo, I'm going to get back African results. But let me do it anyway. And you see what happened? He had more native in him than he thought. To be honest, I didn't even, no, I did think I had about 2% native in me. You know, that's on average 1-2% native. But he took the test and he's shocked, like, damn, I'm 24% indigenous.
80% or something like that, but it didn't. It was very low, actually. It was like only like 21% Nigerian. And it was like a little bit under that for Mali. It wasn't a whole lot. I was like, okay, well. I think I had some Australian. I had some Australian, so that confirms. I had some Polynesian. I think I had some Polynesian. I think it was 1% Polynesian or something like that, and 1% Australian too. So it was a bunch of different. I got to go back and look at it. But what was funny is when I got to the indigenous, you see the percentage: 24% Indigenous Americas North. And what's funny about that is that I laughed when I saw this. I'm like, well, maybe the tribes was right. Because the times when I tried to get tribal citizenship, when I was telling them and we was breaking down like my ancestor that was on the rolls, they told me that I was a 1/4. That's exactly what they told me.
Wow. That's amazing. So it backs the history. This is what YK been saying this. You will see it. And then when you do your genealogy, you will see it too. Because it literally backs everything. This is why when people be like, oh, genealogy is the key. No, DNA is just as important too. Trust me. Take the test and you will see what I'm talking about.
And that's exactly what me and my mom and everybody added up my whole blood because they said I was a 1/4. So I guess the tribes was right. I guess they must have been right because it's on here. And I did find more Indian ancestors than what I already found because I got the records. So I already knew, you know what I'm saying, I already knew I was indigenous because my grandma.
So, you know what we can establish from this video is that if you do your genealogy and you see a lot of Indian in you, most likely when you take that DNA test, you're going to see that DNA, that North American DNA. So that automatically proves that DNA is not a hoax. This video right here automatically proves that DNA is not a hoax. What are you waiting for? Take the test.
Mother's indigenous. My grandfather had tribal citizenship, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like I already knew. So this all right here confirms exactly everything. It confirms it. It confirms. You can see at the top. This is my DNA test. You can see it says Izzy Hamilton, and we all know my name is Israel Hamilton, but it says Izzy Hamilton because that's what I got on my account on Ancestry, and you can see it's my URL, ancestry.com/DNA. So this is what it is. And like I said, I mean, it definitely confirms it. It confirms it, but it did.
You see, DNA is not a hoax. DNA is not a hoax. But the only thing that I do question about this video, and it's no disrespect to the brother, is this. What would have been the title of the video if you would have came back more African than indigenous? Then would have DNA been a hoax? But you know what you can say? With all of your genealogy, and if your DNA comes back, a small percent of native, then you could say that the test was inaccurate or it might be a hoax. But you're not going to have the genealogy and it doesn't back the DNA. This is a fact. You're not going to have people on rolls. You're not going to know native, real Indians that are in your family. You're not going to know these things. And then when you go do a test, I'm not talking about what grandma said. I'm not talking about mama said. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about real records that show these people were indigenous. But you see, the brother said that he knows, he has this information. And then when he took his DNA test, it backed that information. Just like if a person got most of their genealogy from Europe, when they do their DNA, it takes them back to Europe. So for you to still run around saying it's a hoax, why is not sending people tests back that's predominantly European? Why is not calling them African? Why the test is not all screwed up? It's not a hoax. You just don't want to take the test because it wakes you up from this belief that you're an Indian when you're not and you're an African. But let me continue playing the video. My bad.
It say African, it said Nigerian 21%, and it said Mali, and it said I think it say some more. I might have to go back and look at it, man. And I'll come back and give y'all an updated thing about everything. But it did say African. It did say West African, so that's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's dope as hell. It said Mali. It said I have to.
And you know what I appreciate the most about this video? I know dude be having crazy information, shit that I don't agree with. But to say that, to receive those African and be like, that's dope as hell, that's cool. That's real cool to say that. Knowing that you have a large percentage of other things in you, because you're only a quarter Indian. So even though you still have a large percentage of native in you, you're still more African than you are native. Even with all the native in you, because of course we know how that got there. Let's play the video.
I want to go back and look at y'all. I'm gonna have y'all excited and shit, man. So, but I just wanted to do this thing to show the Indigenous Americans. That was funny to me. That was funny as hell. Like I'm like, oh man, so they played it, but this is what it is. So, you know, I just wanted to come point that out.
And they told him, they said, yo, you're a quarter Indian. This is what his records proved. And DNA came and said, you know what? You're right. But how does Ancestry know that? Think about that. How does Ancestry know that? How does all of his matches, because remember, he's going to speak about matches. How is he matching with Indian people?
And show y'all, it says your ethnicity estimate is 24%, but could range from 12 to 31%. So it actually could be more than 24%, or it could be less. Who knows? It said from 12 to 31, so it could be more than. But that's their estimate, you know. But I just wanted to put this up just to show y'all, man, that and you know what's crazy too? I forgot because like I said, I'm still figuring it out. I'm new to all of this, man. So when I went to go look at my results, it did connect me with other people in my family that took a test, or it was like a bunch of people.
And that's dope. Like that's dope. Who don't want to experience that? Who don't want to? Yo, you could learn out. You could really learn secrets that's in your family. Real talk. Like I never knew my father had a sister. I never knew he had a half sister. until I was matched with her son. And it goes back to my grandfather. Never knew this my whole entire life. I never heard of this lady. But I was matched to her son. Like, you never know what you are going to find. Like, you're missing out on so much just to be a pretendian. Are you serious? Do you really want to know who you are? Because most of the pretendians, they're not doing much genealogy. Let's keep it a buck. They're not doing much genealogy. If you don't believe me, I can show you.
Thousands and thousands of years ago.
So what's the farthest you go back, AP? AP, what's the farthest you go back with your genealogy?
See, once again, that's a trick question because we have
exactly.
Wait 1 second.
Crickets.
Wait 1 second.
And if they are doing genealogy, they're not finding any Indians. AP, you told the people that you couldn't find no Indian or no Aboriginal in your genealogy. Is that true, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take a DNA test. If you really care about who you are and you really want to know about who you are, let's put this Pan-African versus Abos. Put this shit to the side. This is about knowledge of self first. Knowledge of self. You got to know who you are. And that's why I respect this brother for even thinking outside of the box.
I ain't gonna bullshit you. It was like a whole list of like people that took a test, like, and it was right. I ain't bullshitting. It was on point. It was. Cause I seen cousins on there that I know, that I talked to, and I'm like, damn, it matched me with them. It said, this is your cousin, this is your cousin, and these people that I know for a fact, yes, it did. It did match me with some people. It matched me with my cousins. It did. But like I said, I took this DNA test because all these Mongoloids, all these Pan-Africans, everybody like, take a DNA test, take a DNA test, take a DNA. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take one. I'm going to take one and I'm going to prove.
And that's gangster. That's what's up. This is what every so-called Aboriginal, so-called Black Indian, this is what y'all should all do. And share your video. You never know. You might have 24% in you. I know you want that. I know you would love that.
I'm indigenous. And here you go. It's only 24% Indigenous Americans, just like my grandmother confirmed, just like my mama said.
See? Just like mama said. I know you want to confirm that, right? The brother confirmed it. Now you put up or shut up. Take your DNA test. This is epic. This is actually a win-win because the brother just proved for us that DNA is not a hoax.
Just like the records say, and I found more records. I found more Indians on my tree now. So now, more.
So now he found more Indians through his DNA. This is a good video, bro. This should have tens of thousands of views, but it won't. It will be shadow banned because we all know who run this media system that we're using. So that African history will be pushed down. They're not going to have this. It only got 87 likes. The brother got over 50,000 subscribers. How?
Well, tribes, I'm going to say more Indians. I'm going to say tribes that I did not know I was connected to in Virginia. So I got some Powhatan Indian ancestry. So now I'm going to have to go explore that. So now I'm really for the talk shit now. Y'all know I'm really about to talk shit now. Just know that.
See? He really about to talk shit now because he found DNA helped him. Dr. Rick Kittles, he spoke about, how DNA is not a hoax when it gives us what we want to hear. Right? DNA is not a hoax when you don't want the baby to be yours. DNA is not a hoax when you want to use it to fight a rape charge. Then DNA is not a hoax because you find some type of, it helps you. This is what he said. But even though this video is out, they're not going to take that test, right? Take the test. You might be 24% indigenous, like this brother right here. Will you? Sign up. It's your brother YK, The Truth, and I'm out. Peace.